Welcome back. You're watching HFO-TV. HFO-TV is co-sponsored by the construction, repair, and restoration firm J.R. Johnson, the real estate law firm Baljanik LLP, the tax deferral accommodator Butler Exchange Group, the mortgage banking firm Gantry Incorporated, and Forensic Building Consultants, providing building structural science services.
All right, welcome back to HFO TV. I'm Greg Frick, partner at HFO Investment Real Estate. And today we're lucky to have with us Matt Smith and Toby White, founder and partners of Forensic Building Consultants. They're a company that was founded, I think, 2003, and lucky to have them as a sponsor this year for our event. So I want to welcome Matt and Toby. Thank you for taking the time to do this. For people out there, we're not sitting in the same room. That's why we don't have masks on. We are distancing. Hopefully at some point in the near future we'll be able to do these back in person like we used to, but from the time being we'll do these remotely. So please excuse any technical glitches we may have through this process. So thank you, gentlemen. Maybe you guys could give a little background. Our audience is predominantly apartment owners, Oregon, Washington, from a sixplex up to a 400 unit deal. So kind of the full gamut. Older urban brickers up to brand new construction. Maybe give a little background on your company and kind of the services you could provide for people in that arena.
Sure. Toby and I started Forensic together back in 2003.
Okay.
Forensic specializes in the assessment, resolution, and also the prevention of construction-related defects and the ensuing damage that those defects can cause. And those can be caused by either poor installation, material failure, and also just poor planning and improper design. So that's kind of where we come from. We specialize in the exterior building enclosure and also resolving very complex problems that have to do with how the building performs with regards to the exterior building enclosure and the interior environment.
And do you guys do from the investigation all the way through the repair, or is that kind of the full scope?
Yes, we do. So we like to perform an assessment to truly understand everything that's wrong with the building, and we take a holistic approach. The holistic approach really supports our core purpose. From the beginning, Toby and I really wanted to make sure that we were providing trusted solutions to our clients so they can make informed decisions about their buildings and investments. So we're dedicated to that. So we start with a holistic assessment of the building, gather as much information as we can within the client's budget. And then we take that information and educate the client on what we found, what their options are. And so they can make an informed decision on, kind of what their next steps are. And then we can also provide, scopes of repair, do the entire design, provide the project management and construction administration all the way through to supplemental quality assurance.
And when do they bring you into for this looking of the project? Are they bringing in a purchase? They bring it, hey, I've got a building that's 10 years old. I just want to get an assessment of where it's at.
Yeah, we get brought in. It depends on the scenario. So we also perform due diligence inspections for apartment owners and developers, people who are purchasing buildings. So sometimes we'll get called in because it's an emergency. There's a leak, or maybe they saw mold inside the building. They may call us because they know it's time. The client knows it's time to make some decisions about, doing some upgrades and repairs. And, they call us in on the new construction as well. So we work on the proactive side of this industry, and we make sure that the design is reviewed and vetted by a building enclosure and building science consultant like ourselves, and which makes for a better project in the end.
And in Oregon, what are you seeing as kind of the bigger issues in terms of building design? And I guess probably here, it's water intrusion, things like that. Is that kind of the big issues here?
I mean, I would say, we live in Oregon, so water is all around us. A lot of existing buildings the owners will call us with some type of challenge with the building. Sometimes it's water intrusion. Sometimes it's, a leaking window if it's an older building. And so we would go in, and it's always pretty much the same thing. We tell them what's going on, why it's happening, and then what options they've got for correcting it. But it could be from the roof, it could be from down below, it could be hydrothermal issues where, condensation is occurring in the exterior walls. We diagnose and troubleshoot a lot of different buildings.
And geographically, are you, is it Oregon, Washington? Are you West Coast based? Kind of give a little scope on, again, our audience typically is going to be Oregon and Washington, multifamily owners.
Our headquarters are here in the Portland and the Pacific Northwest, but we do travel. We've got a project in Arkansas. We've got projects in Colorado, Utah. Wow. So we see so much construction that, you think that you've seen it all, but we've seen a lot of stuff with the buildings.
And do you also work with lenders then? Do they call you in on we've got a construction loan and have you guys come in, or is it more just principals in terms of the owners or potential owners on projects?
Yes, we've worked with lenders kind of a handful of times before. Typically, we've already been retained by the developer and an architect. So typically that's how we get involved. But we definitely like representing financial institutions as well to make sure that their investments are safe and long lasting.
And you got any big predictions? I mean, I'm curious on, if you guys don't do a lot of, you do some interior, but you're not dealing with, a lot of it's the outside envelope. So has COVID affected how you're able to investigate or do business, or has it changed anything?
Not really. We are doing a lot more, just like everybody else, we're doing a lot more Zoom meetings and instead of, doing those face to face. But as far as hampering our ability to assess a building and also even just get into the buildings, because when I mentioned earlier, we do a holistic assessment of the building. We need to get in on the inside as well. So we haven't ran into too many problems. So we've been very fortunate. Oh,
good. Any big changes you guys see coming on the construction side in terms of quality of, is there, we always see construction kind of changing in eras. What kind of you see looking forward in the next couple of years on the construction side that may be, a better way to do things, or maybe kind of shine some light on that?
I would say that we're seeing an increased focus on energy consumption and energy efficiency.
Okay.
And Washington, state of Washington has implemented specific, pretty stringent energy efficiency requirements. And I believe that that's going to slowly trickle down into the Oregon area. An example is, the windows, the window U values have really much more tight and much more energy efficient. So what we're seeing is we're having a hard time getting to some of the low U values that are required in order to meet some of the more stringent guidelines. And what that means is, when we have an existing aluminum window, we're looking at trying to figure out what types of glass can go into that assembly because it makes it more thermally efficient. So as we see some of these aging structures here in Portland, some of the high rises, they have aluminum windows. So selection of those windows will make a big difference in terms of total energy consumption. I think that that's something that's going to really be a hot topic because our energy costs are increasing. And I saw something recently that the energy consumption they're anticipating a 45% increase in the next 12 years. And so that's going to make a huge difference. So imagine having a much more thermally energy efficient window in a huge high-rise structure. It's going to make a big impact.
So then what other services do you provide for your clients?
We provide structural engineering services as well.
Okay.
So we assess and problem solve. We do fire escape assessments. We do post-fire structural assessments as well as structures after fires. And we also do new design, structural design. So
if people want to find out more about your firm, they can go to the website below. I want to thank Matt and Toby for taking the time to sit down today, and welcome. Thank you for being a sponsor, and look forward to doing some business in 2021. Hopefully in the near future we can get together and do this in person, but this is what we're stuck with for now. So thank you again, and we'll be talking to you soon, and be safe.
Thank you for the
Thanks,
opportunity,
guys.
Greg. We appreciate it.
And thanks again for joining us on HFO TV. We'll see you next time. Again, if you have any questions or have any ideas for next topics, feel free to reach out at the contact information below. And again, be safe, everybody. And we'll see you next time on HFO TV. Thank you.
Our entire office specializes in multifamily real estate, making HFO the largest multifamily brokerage in the Pacific Northwest. Your success is our passion. Build your legacy with HFO. Call 503-241-5541 or visit our website at hfore.com for more information.